you are a brewery, you can only have your own. If you are anything else, you can have whatever other beers, or you also have alcohol.
Yeah.
Liqueur.
Yeah, I was thinking about the 101
Or Ale Academy.
Ale Academy. One of the bigger questions that's popped up over the last week, being out and about and chatting with people on some of our followers on social media, and it was about, especially for being at inning, right, 101, what's the difference between bars and breweries and brew pubs? Because we've brought that up multiple times. And so I guess if you want to go ahead and take this, like,
what's the difference?
Yeah. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to depend on states. Different states have different rules, but as far as my knowledge, the high level is going to be if you have a brewery, you can only serve your own alcohol that you brew yourself.
Yep.
And if you're a brewery, you can only brew beer. Like you can't do wine. You can't venture into other alcohols.
What about seltzers?
Seltzers, I'm pretty sure you can. I think that's why there's that crossover there with a lot of places. But different from like ciders. Ciders fall under like the wine license.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Just confirming.
Yep. So that's going to be your brewery, right? Your brewery, and you can have a brewery with a tap room. And a tap room is just like where you're going to be drinking the beer versus like where they're actually brewing. And then you have like a brew pub. I guess the other thing with the tap room is like some places, maybe that's their second location. So they might not do a ton of brewing specifically there, but it's their own tap room still. And then you have like a tap house, which is going to be a place that hosts other people's beer. Sometimes those also have a brew house and a tap house. So they're going to have their own beers that they brew. And then in addition, they're going to have additional breweries in their beer on. I don't think, at least in Colorado, you have to have like food required in there, but I could be wrong. I think once you get into the pub, you do. I'm not totally sure. I don't remember all the food licenses all pan out in there. But basically on like the beer spectrum, it's like you brew your own, you could brew your own or not and have other people's beers in. And then you have a brew pub, which is generally having other people's beers on, and you have your own food. And in general, I don't think you tend to brew your own. And then you have like a bar, which is going to have, I think a brew pub usually has a liquor license and you have to have food. And then a bar is also going to have other people's beers and alcohol. And you usually have to have food. I think every state at least has, like if you have hard alcohol, you have to have food. Yeah, you have
at
to
least
have food
something.
available. Yeah,
like chips or.
I think it has to be more than chips. I think it actually has to be like a meal-ish.
Chips aren't a meal?
They've been plenty of times for me. So yeah, so that's kind of
That
like the basic high levels. And like those licenses are different costs, they're different prices, they have different regulations. The reason a lot of breweries are allowed to have dogs is because they don't have a food license.
Right.
And so then dogs can come in. Where if you have a restaurant, you have a food license, you can't have dogs, right? But then they have other restrictions, like you can't have ice, which a lot of people find to be really silly, but you also want that ice machine kept cleaned and you don't have gross, nasty ice that's been sitting around. Where if you have a food license, you have the food inspector come in and they inspect and do all these things. It's just a different set of rules. It's a different cost. There's different things that you can do in it. But from a high level, those I feel like are the ones that usually get crossed over. If you are a brewery, you can only have your own. If you are anything else, you can have whatever other beers, or you also have alcohol.
Yeah.
Liqueur. So
yeah. So
kind of three main categories.
Yeah. So we hope that helps, right? I think most people get the general concept of walking into a bar, right? And maybe that's just been the overarching category for a place to go drink an adult beverage, an alcoholic beverage, right? Yeah. And then breweries, really what they're so special and why they're so special, like you get to be a part of that experience of the behind the scenes process, right? The tanks are right there. The smell of the greens is all up in your face, and it's a wonderful, beautiful thing to see. And you oftentimes see the brewers and the brewers' assistants back there. They're working hard. They're checking temperatures or they're whatever, cleaning up a mess or something.
Yeah.
But it's really about that ambiance. So it just depends on how deep you want to go into when you're walking into that environment. I think for a lot of people that are new to the craft scene, like I'm actually kind of jealous that you get to see that for the first time and like these bright eyes, you know what I mean? Because it's just such a cool experience.
It's fun.
And I digress. Like I still geek out every time we walk into a super cool brewery. I think it was really evident on the last episode, and you brought up Lagunitas, and I fell out of my chair.
Yeah,
Truly
we've been
favorite experience.
very, very lucky to hit multiple really cool breweries around the world, and it's going to keep going.
Yeah, but
there's some fun ones, and they all have their own unique style and different things that they do, and it's pretty cool. I just think it allows them to focus on mastering their craft, and that's kind of the beautiful thing about being a specific brewery is you don't have to worry about having a great food menu, and you don't have to worry about having as many servers. And it's just a totally different vibe. You don't have to worry about making mixed drinks. You don't have to have mixed drinks for the holidays. Like there's just so much more that goes in once you have a bar and you have food that if you're spreading yourself so thin, like you just don't get a hyper focus on something, and this allows them to hyper focus. And I think it's really cool, and it's more cost effective. So it's a cool extra license, and I don't know how the wine ones all work. I should be more knowledgeable on that, but I think it's cider. I think ciders and wines are under the same license, but I don't know I think beer and
more
wine.
of a liquor.
I think it's the opposite. I think it falls under beer and wine. In wine, I don't think you need food. I think you can be a wine bar without food.
Really? You don't have to have a snack? I think you have to have a snack.
I don't know.
I would offer a snack regardless,
you gotta,
right? Like
but you should, but I don't know.
I don't know if you have to, but you definitely.
Beer and wine, I feel like tend to fall on similar type of things together. Because I've gone to like vineyards and wineries that you go there and you can have samples and you can try stuff and you buy bottles and there's no food.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think you have to. I think it's different.
Somebody, I'm sure, will chime in. Please do.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for, right? We're not here because we know everything or think we know everything. Really, it's just to continue talking about a lifestyle that we really like and we're still super very much a part of, and maybe spread a little bit of knowledge that we've learned over the years.
Yeah.
So maybe not in that aspect. We don't know the licenses, but it seems boring.
Yeah, there's lots of things to learn. Always. But
yeah, so I hope that's helpful for
the 101s.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Before you didn't, and now you do.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.